Hello. Yeah.
How are you?
Yes, I'm fine.
Oh,
You?
I'm also fine. I'll just finish my first class after you, okay? Anyway, all right. So are you ready?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
ready.
All right. That's great. So, by the way, have you had your dinner already?
Yes, of course.
Okay, that's great. Okay, now, before we proceed, I want you to recall on what we have discussed last meeting. Since we started already with our new topic, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Uh,
so can you share about that?
uh, with the last lesson, yeah, the last lesson, we study the rest of the unit 19 and
Mm-hmm.
do some vocabularies in unit 20.
Okay. So did you still remember the words in the vocabulary? Can you
Uh,
mention?
yes, we have some vocabularies. Um, um, I try to pile into
Hmm?
searches, search,
Yeah, very good. What else?
searches, boot,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
cover,
Okay.
um, cover, pile into,
Okay. Okay, very good. Okay, very good. Lucky. So we really did remember. So now I want you mhm, to read again these words. This one.
searches,
Okay, very good. How about this one?
um, whistles,
Okay, one more time. Whistles.
whistles, whistles,
Whistles.
whistles.
Okay, very good. So that's it. So these are the words that you mispronounced last meeting. So now let us continue to our topic. So here, can you see our topic?
Yes,
Okay, that's great. So, can you please read again the vocabulary in here?
yes. Searches, boom,
Mm,
uh, pile into,
okay, very good. How about this one?
cover.
Okay, very good. So now, since we're done with the vocabulary, so let us proceed to the story. Okay, so I'll let you listen first to the story. Okay, all right. So let's start. Okay, what happened? It's not working. No. Oh, what happened? It's not working. Anyway, okay, let me just go ahead read instead, okay? Okay, now the ocean. Oh, right. Oh, wait for a moment. I'll just read the title. So the title is Rentals at the Oceanside Community. The ocean community of Lozano Beach is debating whether to allow owners to rent out their homes on a weekly basis during the summer. Such rentals produce high incomes for the owners and the city, which gets part of this income through a 15% surcharge to the owner. This can be a boon to our coffers, said Rick Brown, the city manager. In the summer, home owners can bring in $2,000 a week or more. However, these rentals can also be a can of worms. Okay, I'll read it twice. The oceanside community of Lozano Beach is debating whether to allow the home owners to rent out their homes on a weekly basis during the summer. Such rentals produce high incomes for the owners and the city, which gets part of this income through a 15% surcharge to the owner. This can be a boon to our coffers, said Rick Brown, city manager. In the summer, home owners can bring in $2,000 a week or more. However, these rentals can also be a can of worms. So now, did you understand the story?
Yes.
Okay. All right. My question, Lucky, is what is the title of the story?
The title, uh, Rentals and the Oceanside Community.
Okay, very good. So another question. Um, what is the out? I mean, what is the Oceanside community debating about?
Um, the Oceanside community is debating whether to allow homeowners to rent out their homes on a weekly basis during the summer.
Okay, very good. So another question. What do rental produce?
Rentals produce high incomes for the owners and the city.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. Okay, now we are going to go into the many parts of the story. So let's just first go here, okay? I mean, start here. So I'll let you listen so that you will know how to pronounce the words and the intonation, okay? Let's see if it's working now, the audio. Oh, it's not working. Anyway, let me just go ahead and read. Oh, no, it's working. Okay. Okay, let's wait for a moment.
The oceanside community of Lozano Beach is debating whether to allow homeowners to rent out their homes on a weekly basis during the summer.
Okay, one more time.
The oceanside community of Lozano Beach is debating whether to allow homeowners to rent out their homes on a weekly basis during the summer.
All right. So now, Lucky, can you please read the sentence or the sentence?
Oceanside community of Louisiana is debating whether to allow homeowners to rent out their homes on a weekly basis during the summer.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So can you please read this one again? Homes.
Homes,
Okay, very good. Homes with an S. Homes.
homes,
Okay, very good, Lucky. How about this one? Home owners.
homeowners,
Okay, very good. So my questions are, what do home owners do?
homeowners rent out their homes on a weekly basis during the summer.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So another question. When do home owners rent out their homes?
Um, they rent out their homes on a weekly basis during the summer.
Okay, very good. So another question. So do they rent out their houses all years?
Uh, no, uh, they they don't. They just rent out their homes on a weekly basis during the summer.
Okay, very good. So another question. Who is debating whether um whether to allow homeowners to rent out their homes on a weekly basis during the summer?
Uh, the Oceanside community of Lozano Beach.
Okay, one more time. Lozano Beach.
Lozano Beach.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So, I guess you've already answered all of my questions, so very good. Okay, now let us proceed till the next sentence. Okay, let's wait for a moment. Hmm, it's really loading. I'm so sorry for that, Lucky. Anyway, let me just go ahead and read. Oh no, I guess it's working. Okay, it's working now.
Such rentals produce high incomes for the owners and the city, which gets part of this income through a 15% surcharge to the owner.
Okay. One more time.
Such rentals produce high incomes for the owners and the city, which gets part of this income through a 15% surcharge to the owner.
Okay, now I want you to read.
Such rentals produce high incomes for the owners and the city, which gets part of this income through a 50% surcharge to the owner.
Okay, very good. So can you please read this one again?
Such,
Such.
such.
Okay, very good. So such rentals produce high incomes for the owners and the city, which gets part of this income through a 15% surcharge to the owner. Okay, my questions are, what do rental produce?
Um, rentals, produ- rentals produce high incomes for the owners and the city.
Okay, very good. So how is the incomes that rental produce?
Um, they, uh, they get part of this income through a 50% surcharge to the owner.
Okay, very good. So here, how is the income? Is it high or low?
Uh, it's, it's
Okay. Yeah, very good. It's high incomes. Okay, another question. Um, what do rentals produce high income for?
um, rentals produce high incomes for the owners and the city.
Okay, very good. So, what gets part of this income through a 15% surcharge to the owner?
Uh, what
What gets part?
what gets uh, the the incomes um, the incomes for the owners and the city from rentals.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So, another question. How much does the city surcharge um 50%? I am so sorry. Let me just repeat again the question. How how much does the city surcharge 50% to the owner? Wait, let me just rephrase the question. I'm so confused with my question. Okay, another question. Yeah, another question. Okay. Why do rentals produce high incomes for the city?
Um,
Why?
because because they get part of this income through a 50% surcharge to the owner.
Okay, very good. So, how much does the city surcharge to the owner?
50%
O-
surcharge.
Okay, very good, Lucky. It's 15%. So, you've already answered all of my questions. So, let us now proceed to the third part. Okay, start. Hmm. Oh,
This can be a boon to our coffers, said Rick Brown, city manager. In the summer, homeowners can bring in $2,000 a week or more.
okay, one more time.
This can be a boon to our coffers, said Rick Brown, city manager. In the summer, homeowners can bring in $2,000 a week or more.
Okay, so now, Lucky, can you please read?
This can be a boon to our coffers, Rich Brown, city manager. In the summer, homeowners can bring in $2,000 a week or more.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So my questions are, what can this be? Yeah, what can this be?
What can it be?
Hmm.
What can it be? Um, the the incomes the incomes from rentals.
Okay, so what can be the rentals? Yeah, what can be the rentals?
What can be the rentals? The
Yeah.
rentals can be a boon to our coffers.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So another question. Who is the city manager?
Um, Rich Broad is
Okay,
the
Rick
man
Brown. Okay, very good. So, how much can a homeowners bring um, in the summer?
2,000 a week or more.
All right, $2,000 a week or more. Okay, very good. So now, um, do homeowners bring $2,000 a month in the summer?
No, they 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 no they don't. Uh,
Mhm.
they $2,000 a week.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So another question. Who brings $2,000 a day or more in the summer?
Um, to homeowners.
Okay, very good. So now, hmm. All right, so I guess you did answer all of my questions. So do you have any question?
No, teacher.
Okay, that's great. So let us now proceed to the last part of the story. Okay, let me just. Okay, what happened again? Oh, oh, no, no. Okay.
However, these rentals can also be a can of worms.
Okay, so one more time.
However, these rentals can also be a can of worms.
Okay, so now Lucky, can you please read?
Uh, However, these rentals can also be a can of worms.
Okay, very good. Can you please read this one also?
Also,
All right, one more time also.
also
How about this one? Worms.
worms.
Okay, perfect. So now can you please read again the sentence?
However, these rentals can also be a can of worms.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So now my questions are, what can be a can of worms?
These rentals
O-
can be a can of worms.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So another question. What can these rentals be?
Um, what can uh, these rentals can be a can of worms.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So another question. Can these rentals be a can of corn?
Of corn, of corn. No,
Uh, all
they,
right.
no, they can't.
Okay,
Rentals
so so
can,
the rentals, yeah.
can be a can of worms.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So another question. Can these rentals be troublesome?
Suppose, uh,
hmm
the, the rentals can be a trouble.
hmm Okay, what is your answer again?
This
Can these rentals can be troublesome?
can be troublesome. Um, uh,
hmm
yes, they they can. These rentals can be troublesome.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Okay, so there can be a trouble because of that. And very good, Lucky. Okay, now I want you to read again the whole story.
Yes, the oceanside community of Luzano Beach is debating whether to allow homeowners to rent their homes on a weekly basis during the summer. Such
hmm
was produce high income for the owners and the city, which gets part of this income through a 50% surcharge. The owners appeal to our offers. That the homeowners can bring $2,000 a week.
Oh, I'm
However,
so sorry.
However, these rentals can also be a
Okay, very good, Lucky. Thank you so much for that. So, I'll give you a random question. Okay, so what is the Oceanside community um, debating about?
uh, the Oceanside community debating whether to allow homeowners to rent out their homes on a weekly basis during the summer.
Okay, very good. So, what do homeowners do?
What do homeowners do? Homeowners rent out their homes weekly basis during the summer.
Okay, very good. So, now, what do rental produce?
Renters produce high incomes for their um, high income for the owners and the city.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So, now, who is the city manager?
Uh, Rich Brown. Rich Brown is city manager.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So, another question. What can be a can of worms?
These rentals,
Okay, very good. So, can these rentals be troublesome?
uh, yes, they can.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So now, I'll what you call this? I'll ask random questions again, but at this moment, I will not let you see the story. Okay, and let's see if you can still answer. Okay, so let's start. Okay, my question is, what can be a can of worms?
These rentals can be a can of worms,
Okay, very good, Lucky. So now, how much can homeowners bring in the summer?
$1,000.
Okay, very good. So another question. Hmm. What is the Oceanside community debating about?
Uh, Oceanside community debating uh, whether to whether to allow how to allow homeowners to rent out their homes on a weekly basis during the summer.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So another question. What let me just change the question. How is the incomes that rental produce? How? Is it low or high?
Uh, is high incomes.
Okay, very good. So, um, who do rentals produce high income for?
Uh, the owner and the city.
Okay, perfect. So now another question. Let me just think. Okay, another question here. Um, what can these rentals be?
Uh, the, these rentals can be a can of worms.
Okay, very good, Lucky. You did answer all of my questions correctly. Okay, so I guess you're ready for the next part of the story. Okay. By the way, do you have any question about
No,
this?
yeah, no,
Oh, okay, so let us now proceed. Here. Okay. So now I'll let you listen first. Hmm. Oh no, it's not working again. Okay, it's working now.
The city stopped allowing weekly rentals 10 years ago because of the problems they were generating. Two, three, or even four families would pile into a 2 or 3 bedroom house. Then they would park their cars on the lawn and produce huge amounts of trash. Sometimes they would toss this trash on the streets and sidewalks. Noise would be another problem. Some people would party late and loud every night.
All right, so one more time.
The city stopped allowing weekly rentals 10 years ago because of the problems they were generating. Two, three, or even four families would pile into a 2 or 3 bedroom house. Then they would park their cars on the lawn and produce huge amounts of trash. Sometimes they would toss this trash on the streets and sidewalks. Noise would be another problem. Some people would party late and loud every night.
Okay, so did you understand the story, Lucky?
Yes,
Okay, that's great. So my question is, what did the city do 10 years ago?
the city stopped allowing weekly rentals 10 years ago.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So another question. How many families would pile into a 2 or 3 bedroom house?
Two, three, or even four families would pile into a 2 or 3 bedroom house.
Okay, very good. So another question. What would they produce?
What will produce? Uh, they produce huge amounts of trash.
Okay, very good. Can you please read this one again? Huge.
Use.
Okay, very good. So now let us go into the many parts of the story. So let us go first on the first sentence. Okay, start. I'll let you listen here.
The city stopped allowing weekly rentals 10 years ago because of the problems they were generating.
Okay, one more time.
The city stopped allowing weekly rentals 10 years ago because of the problems they were generating.
All right, so now Lucky, can you please read?
City stopped allowing weekly rentals 10 years ago because of the problems they were generating.
Okay, very good. So the city stopped allowing weekly rentals 10 years ago because of the problems they were generating. So they are not allowing the rentals to rent again because of the problems they were generating. Okay, now here is my question. So what did let me just change the question. Why did the city stop allowing weekly rentals?
Because of the problems they were generating.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So another question. Who stopped allowing the weekly rentals?
Uh, the city,
Okay, very good. Did the city stop allowing monthly rentals?
uh, no, it didn't. The city stopped allowing weekly rentals.
All right, very good, Lucky. You're so good. So now, what were generating problems?
What were,
Or
what
let me say, who is generating problems?
is generating problems? The city, um, the, uh, the city were the city were generating problems.
Hmm? Are you sure, Lucky? Okay, let me rephrase the question, okay? So here is my question. Who is generating problems?
Who is generating problems?
Or
They
who make problems?
make problems. Who make
Yeah,
uh,
or
rentals,
who create problems?
rentals, rental
Oh,
create
okay, very good. You got it. So, the people who generates problems are those weekly rentals. Okay, that's why the city did not allow again those weekly rentals to rent 10 years ago. Okay, now, all right. I guess you've already answered all of my questions. So let us now proceed to the second. Okay.
Two, three, or even four families would pile into a 2 or 3 bedroom house. Then they would park their cars on the lawn and produce huge amounts of trash.
All right. So one more time.
Two, three, or even four families would pile into a 2 or 3 bedroom house. Then they would park their cars on the lawn and produce huge amounts of trash.
Okay, so now Lucky, kindly read the sentences.
Two, three, or even four families would pile into a two or three bedroom house. Then their cars and produce
Mm-hmm. Okay, so, alright, so one more time.
two, three, or even four families would pile into a two or three bedroom house. Then they would park their cars on the lawn and produce huge amounts of dust.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So my questions are, how many families would pile into two or three bedroom house?
Two, three, or even four families.
Okay, very good. Then who would park their cars on the lawn?
Uh, the the family the
Oh,
family in the city.
all right, very good. So now, where would they park their car?
Um, they park their cars on the lawn and the lawn.
Okay, very good. So another question, how much trash would they produce?
They use of trash.
Okay, so huge amounts of trash. Okay, here another question. Hmm. Um. Okay, so how many families would pile in two or three bedroom house?
Mm, How many? Two, three, or even four families.
All right, very good. So where do rentals or shall we say families park their cars?
Uh, they park their cars on the lawn.
All right, very good. Okay, so do you have any question about these sentences?
No, teacher.
Okay, so let us now proceed. Are you still okay?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. So let's continue. Oh, it's not working again. Here. All right. Hmm. Oh, let me just go ahead and read Lucky. Okay, now, noise would be another problem. Some people would party late and loud every night. So, noise would be another problem. Some people would party late and loud every night. So, can you please read the sentence?
Teacher, you should read sometimes. They would cost. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, oh yeah. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for that, Lucky. Okay, I forgot the sometimes. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, now, sometimes they would toss this trash on the streets and sidewalks. Noise would be another problem. Some people would party late and loud every night. So, can you please read the sentence?
Sometimes they would toss this trash on the streets and sidewalks. Noise would be another problem. Some people would party late and loud every night.
Okay, very good. Can you please read this one again? Loud.
Loud.
Okay, how about this one? Sometimes.
Sometimes. Some
Okay, this one, streets.
street,
Streets.
street,
Okay, very good. How about this one? Sidewalks.
sidewalks.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So, my questions are, what would they do sometimes?
Uh, Sometimes they would toss this trash on the streets and sidewalks.
Okay, very good. So, where would they toss their trash?
Uh, they toss this trash on the streets and sidewalks.
Okay, very good. So, would they toss their trash on a dump?
No, they wouldn't. They would discharge on the streets and sidewalks.
Okay, very good. So, what would be the another problem?
Um, noise. Noise would be another problem.
Okay, very good. So, would music sounds be another problem?
Uh, no, wouldn't. Uh, they would be late and loud every.
Okay, very good. So, what would people do every night?
They would party late and loud every night.
Okay, very good. So, how would people party every night?
How would, uh, they they make a noise
Mm-hmm. And then?
and and they would calculate and laugh every night.
Okay, very good, Lucky. Okay, so now you did really answer all of my questions, and I want you to read again the whole story.
Yes, the city stopped allowing weekly rentals 10 years ago because of the problems they were generating.
Mm-hmm.
Two, three, or even four families would pile into a two or three bedroom house. Then they would park their cars on the lawn and produce huge amounts of dust. Sometimes they would toss this dust on the streets and sidewalks. Noise would be another problem. Some people would party late and loud every night.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So can you please read this one again? Noise.
Noise.
Okay, perfect. So now I'll give you a random question again. So, um, what did the city do 10 years ago?
Uh, the city stopped allowing weekly rentals 10 years ago.
Okay, very good. So another question. How many families would pile into a two or three bedroom house?
Two, three, or even four families.
Okay, very good. So did the city stop allowing monthly rentals?
Uh, no, uh, it didn't. The city stopped allowing weekly rentals.
Okay, very good. So where would they park their car?
They parked their cars on the lawn.
Okay, very good. So who would park their cars on the lawn?
Um, the families, the families in the city.
Okay, very good. So would they park their cars in the parking area?
No, they wouldn't. They would uh, park their cars on the lawn.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So another question. Um, what would people do every night?
Um, they they would party late and loud every night.
Okay, very good. So what would be the another problem?
Uh, noise would be another problem.
Okay, so would they toss their trash on the dump?
No, they wouldn't. They would toss dust on street sidewalks.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So now I'll let you. I'll I ask you random questions, but I'll not let you see the story. Okay, here. So question: what would they do sometimes?
Um, sometimes they would they would toss the trash on the street and sidewalks.
Okay, very good. So they would toss the trash on the streets and sidewalks. Okay, very good, Lucky. So another question. What would be the another problem?
Noise, noise is another problem.
Okay, very good. So what would people do every night?
People party late and loud every night.
Okay, so how would people party every night?
How would people, how would people party?
Mm-hmm.
They make a noise because uh, they party um, they party late and loud every
Okay, very good, Lucky. So they party late and loud every night. So another question. What did the city do 10 years ago?
Um, city, the city, um, the city allow renters.
Okay, very good. So, how many families would pile into two or three bedroom house?
Uh, two, three, or even four families pile into two or three bedroom house.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So, another question. Who would park their cars on the lawn?
Who would what the the families in the city
All right, very good, Lucky. So, another question. What would they produce?
they um produce huge,
All right. Mm-hmm.
they huge amount of trash.
Okay, very good. So they produce a huge amount of trust. Okay, very good, Lucky. So now, I guess you're ready for our phrases and collocations. So let us now proceed. Here. Okay. So do you still remember the first part of the story?
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, now phrases and collocations. So kindly fill in the blanks. Okay, you start.
Um, the Oceanside community of Latino Beach is debating whether to allow homeowners to rent out their homes on a weekly basis during the summer.
Mhm.
Rentals produce high incomes for the owners and the city, which part of this income through 50% surcharge to the owners. This can
All right, Lucky, I can't hear you.
uh, yes,
All right, hello.
the teacher, can you hear me?
Okay, yes, I can hear you now. Okay, so you continue.
Uh, this can be a boon to our coffers, said Rick Brown, city manager. In the summer, homeowners can bring in $2,000 a week or more. However, these rentals can also be kind
Okay. Hello,
yeah.
Luck. Okay. All right. Oh, can you please repeat the last sentence?
However, these rentals can also be a can of worms.
Okay, very good, Lucky. So now I would like you to repeat again the story. Okay, go.
The Oceanside community of Lozano Beach is debating whether to allow homeowners to rent out their homes on a weekly basis during the summer. Thus, rentals produce high incomes for the owners and the city, which gets part of this income through a 50% surcharge to the owners. This can be a boon to our coffers.
Mm-hmm.
City managers in the summer, homeowners can bring in $1,000 a week or more. However, these rentals can also be a can of worms.
Okay, very good, Lucky. Okay, you got perfect on the first phrases and collocations. So now let us proceed to the second. All right. Here. Okay, can you start?
Um, the city allowed stopped around rental weekly 10 years ago because of the problems they were generating. Two, three, or even four families would pile into a two or three bedroom house. Then they would park their cars on the lawn and produce huge amounts of trash. Sometimes they sometimes they would toss the on the street and cars would be annoyed, but the city did not allow
All right. So can you please read again this word? I mean the
the
last.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they would toss this dust on the streets and sidewalks. Noise would be another problem. Some people would party late and loud every night.
Okay, very good, Lucky. You did answer perfectly again. I'm so proud of you. All right, so do you have any question about the story?
No, teacher.
Okay, so now let us proceed to the next slide. Okay, the vocabulary again. Can you read this one again?
Vocabulary.
Okay, so vocabulary. So now, can you read these words in here?
Friction.
Friction. One more time. Friction.
Friction.
Yeah, friction.
Friction. Friction.
Okay, here. All right, so here. So it spells like this. It's friction. But you are going to read this way. It's
Friction.
like then Sean. Here,
Friction.
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 Okay, one more time. Friction.
Friction.
Okay, very good. So that is friction. One more time.
Friction.
Okay, perfect, Lucky. Okay, so now, how about this one?
Friction.
This one.
Uh, this friction and
Okay,
frost and cons.
okay, very good. How about this one?
Some.
Mm-hmm.
Five. Five.
Fine. Okay, one more time.
Five.
Okay, very good. How about this one?
Offset.
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 Okay, perfect. So now, can you please read again this one?
Friction.
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 Okay, very good. Friction. So, are you familiar with the word friction?
Friction. 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 This means
What do you think is the word friction?
friction. I don't know the word.
Okay, so here, I'll let you see here the definition. Okay, this is the friction.
Friction.
Yeah, all right. All right, so we are going to, this is the friction, okay? All right, let me just friction meaning so that you are going to know. Here, so as you can see in here, we are going to read this way, this one.
The action.
Mm-hmm. The action.
The action up on surface. As on surface. I uh, I can't see.
Oh, okay, not a problem. I'll just copy this one so that you could be able, or here, you could be able to read. So when we say friction,
Friction.
here, wait, friction.
Friction. Friction.
Friction. Okay, can you read now?
Friction. The action of one surface or object dropping against another.
Okay, all right. So do you understand the meaning?
Yes.
Or all right. So if we are going to, we can also do, define this way. Okay, this is actual disagreement, something like disagreement or tension between people. All right, people or groups. Okay,
This
all right. Can you please read this one?
uh, disagreement or tension between people or groups.
Alright, so that is friction. This is also the action of one surface or object rubbing against another. So, shall we say, I have an idea, and the other, or shall we say, one of your member don't like your idea. So, you are going to have a tension or something like disagreement between the idea, right? It's because of the idea you're going to have a disagreement. So, that is something about friction.
Friction.
Okay, not having agreement to one another, or something like you don't like understand one another, or shall we say you're going to have tension. Okay,
Yeah.
All right. So now, can you give me an example of a sentence using the word friction?
Friction. Friction is a noun.
Mhm. Yes. Can you please type in?
Yeah, I often friction. Friction. Often have friction.
All right. Can you please read the sentence that you make?
We often have frictions when we have to make an important decision.
All right. Very good, Lucky. You are really good making a sentence. So we often have frictions when we have to make an important decision because and maybe you cannot or some of you don't agree on what is the idea of the other person, right? That's why you're having a friction together. Okay, very good. So, do you have any question about the friction?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you also. So now let us proceed to the next word. This one,
Uh,
pros and cons. Are you familiar with this one?
Pros and cons.
Hmm.
Pros
Are you familiar with that?
and cons. Mm, pros and cons.
Hmm.
Um,
So in
this
your own idea, what is pros and cons?
because now similar and different. Or
Oh, hmm. All right. So as you can see in here, you can see now the definition. Here there's something like advantage and disadvantages. Okay. All right. Like pros and cons of something are its advantage and disadvantages, which you consider carefully so that you can make a sensible decision. Okay, so if you're going to think an important decision, so you're just going to do a balancing. So if I were going to do this, what is the advantages or what is the pros? If I will not going to do this, and what is the disadvantages? So that is the cons. Okay, so I will paste it to the on our chat box so that you will not going to forget. Okay,
no,
okay. Are its pros and cons of something are its advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so can you please read this one?
the pros and cons of something have disadvantage and disadvantage.
All right, very good. So let me just go ahead and continue this one. So like for example, they sat for hours debating the pros and cons of setting up their own firm. So motherhood has both its pros and cons. Okay, so that is the example in here. But um, in you, I want you to make your own sentence.
On sentence. Uh,
Mhm.
it, they, they want to find the and
All right. Okay, very good, Lucky. So can you please read this?
They want to find a pros and cons of the house before they buy it.
Okay, very good. So they want the pros and cons of the house before they buy it, or shall we say, they want to find the advantages and disadvantages of the house before they buy it. Okay, very good, Lucky. Your sentence is very good. So now, okay, so here. How about this one? Can you please read this one?
Buy
Okay, how about this one? Another word.
up
Okay, very good, Lucky. So now, since it's almost time, I'll let you do this as your assignment. Okay, here. I want you to make something like make a sentence, or shall we say, let me just um, give the meaning of each word and make a sentence okay, only one sentence. All right, so let me just go ahead and give the meaning of each word and make a sentence. All right, so the a number one word is the fine. The second word is the absent. All right, so this is your assignment, okay?
okay.
And just paste in here on our chat box, okay? Before we start our class on Wednesday, all right? So now, before we end the class, Lucky, I want you to share on what you have learned for today.
Today we learn about the part one and two of 20 unit 20 of unit
Mm-hmm.
20. Yeah.
All
Um,
right.
we will study we study about the rentals of
Mm-hmm.
old unit of unit three
Yeah. All right.
and some people of rentals. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing, Lucky. So for a short feedback, yeah, you're actually good. I mean, there's a lot of improvement in you, especially on making a sentence. And anyway, in the first place, you're so good. I know that you will really improve in having or with this class, okay? And with the phrases and collocations, you really did answer the blanks perfectly correct. Okay, so you're really so much what you call this familiar with the story by the time that you're always repeating and repeating those sentences, then you was able to familiarize. That is why you was able to fill in the blanks. Okay, so thank you so much for that, Lucky. And then with the vocabulary, though there are words here like friction, you was not able to what you call this define. But then, when the time that I define it, you actually understood directly understood what is the meaning of friction, and then you've give me a sentence, and your sentence is very good. It's grammatically correct. Okay, and also in the pros and cons. Okay, thank you so much for that, Lucky. And here, don't forget your assignment, okay? So here, let me just let you read this again.
Uh, Christian,
Okay, one
Christian,
more. Okay, one more time.
Christian, Christian.
Friction. What? All right. Okay, very good, Lucky. So, okay, I guess this is all for tonight. And thank you so much for your time. And have a good night. And see you on Wednesday. Okay, bye bye for now, Lucky. Thank you.
Hi, teacher.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.